Hey guys, Rob at OCD Coffee again. So, if you tuned in for the last two videos, I know they're pretty long and you're pretty dedicated if you did. I roasted a Colombia Lojas to a light roast. This one is at 20% development, the next one was at 25% development. And so I'm going to go for roasting. On this next one, I'm going to go for roasting more dark roast. So, I pulled that last one a little early, but then I realized, you know what, this is maybe a blessing because I'm going to see what the difference is between a light, a medium, and a dark roast on this. And this is the difference. This is what kind of is nice about having your own roaster at home. This is the Yoshan. I got this back in, right around New Year's, I think in February actually. And so I've been toying with this, and I found that there's really no videos online about Yoshan roasters. So I figured I'd be the guy to make them, or at least start making them. I've got my roaster still preheated. I'm going to again do a 2.5 pound yield or batch on this one, sticking with the same bean. I'm following now I'm going to follow the background is going to be the first roast, not the second roast. Second roast got a little shoddy there at some point, so I'm going to follow the first one. And that was because the Artisan app had a couple of glitches, so it messed me up a little bit. But whatever, that's life. So I'm going to turn on the Artisan, okay? We're going to, turn off the Artisan. I forgot. I have to just let it know which roast I'm doing. I'm going to be doing a Lojas roast this time, again. And then I'm going to now turn it on. I've got this now. I'm going to preset this to 4 kPa. Right there. Turn it off. We're going to wait for that to drop into I'm going to be dropping at 400 degrees. I've got my vent set at 40. I've got my rotation, my RPMs at 65 for this Yoshan. When this reaches 420, I'm going to turn on the Artisan app, and then I'm going to, at 410, drop my beans, and then at 400, drop them into I'm going to put them in the hopper and then drop them into the drum at exactly 400. Oop, got to turn it on. Boom. I'm going to let it know that I'm doing 4 air and 4 gas. And then I'm going to grab my beans. Oh, I don't want to be late. I want it to all work perfectly. Okay. Grab on, get ready. 3, 2, 1, and drop. Boom. And now hit the charge on this. Boom. That's pretty damn good. Good. Okay. So let's see what I did. I dropped the beans in right here at 398, it says. Actually, I technically dropped them at 400, but by the time I got to the charge, it was at 398. So again, as you saw from the last one, what we're looking to do is follow this roasting curve. The first time it was at 275 was my turning point temp, and it was at 1 minute and 36 seconds. The last roast was actually at 280, my turning point, so it turned earlier, and it was at 1 minute and 34 seconds, so it was 2 seconds faster. Now, I don't think there's a real problem with that as much as the roaster's now warmed up and it's maybe going to be a little bit more effective, right? And I might see that happen on this one as well. We'll see. You won't see anything register on the ROR, the rate of rise, until the turning point happens. And actually, it looks like my roaster is just a little higher than 4, so I'm going to just make the adjustment, make it a true 4. Again, a lot of the stuff that I learned about roasting using Artisan and just like really just helpful tools here, guys, is by buying this book. It was like $40, I think. Yeah, $45. I think you can get it. You can only get it on Scott's website, but highly recommend it. Let's see, we're about 1 minute and 30 seconds in. We should be having our turning point very soon. Let's see if I can get you there for it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what it registers at. Because it's already happened, but it's going to click in a second. There it is. Oh, okay, good. So it was 1 degree off and 2 seconds slower. So this was 138, and then it was at 276 instead of 275, different from the first one. So, okay, we're just operating right in that window. So that's the good thing, right? That's the window that seems to be working. And now we're going to be waiting for our yellow phase. Before that, at 4 minutes and about 30 seconds or so, I'm going to drop it from a 4 kPa to a 3.4 kPa. Again, always good to be drinking coffee while you're working. Keeps you sharp. When you're using Artisan, check out the artisan.org. I think it's a free app, so I think it's a .org, just for coffee roasters, totally free. You can donate. It basically they're by donation. There's a guy, Michael Herbert, that's not an official employee, but he's a retired guy who's a whiz with software like this, and basically he wrote their starter guide. They liked it so much, he sent it to them because he was like, this doesn't exist. You guys haven't written this. And so he sent it to them, and they were so nice. They were like, hey, dude, can we bring you on as like an official kind of ambassador to Artisan? And so Michael and I hooked up on Facebook, and then actually met up in a Zoom call. And he was unbelievably generous with his time. I can't even tell you guys, and walked me through so much of this. So I'm not saying that Michael's going to do that for you, but I'm saying that his starter guide was super, super helpful at getting all this set up and making my roasting process so much more, just kind of like just manageable, and So anyway, right now we're bringing it up to, we're about 320. We are maybe about a minute away from dry end. Let's see how it's looking here. You might be asking yourself, like, I see everybody using the trier. Why aren't you using the trier? I find that using the trier, it's fine. It's just not really necessary for me to use the trier, because it does two reasons. One is, right at this point, it really doesn't do anything. I can smell it, and I can smell all the grass flavors, and the earthiness of the green bean kind of coming to, like that baked bread smell, whatever. I mean, it's great, right? But at the same time, it's not going to change anything in terms of my roast. So if I keep popping the trier, I'm going to drop the internal temperature of the drum, which is going to affect my probe reading, and it's going to mess with what I see on my Artisan app. I'm coming up right here at my Artisan's good. It's running. I'm at the point where I should drop to a 3-4. I'm gonna record that. Perfect. I was a little late on that, so let's just see how I do here. A little bit late. I should actually be. Yep, I'm at dry end now, and actually it looked like it happened maybe slightly earlier than that. So I'm gonna just move it in a little bit. So my dry end happened more about like 350. And I'm going to again drop my temp back down to a 2.8 because I was a little late and I want to try to stay on path. Now, it's okay if you mess up. Something that they talk about in the coffee roasting book, Scott's book, is that why do I bring up like there's like an immediate rush of temperature in the roaster as opposed to or a drop? And what happens is they say that, and I've definitely experienced this, is that if you have a uptick in your temp and you're like all of a sudden the temperature just the rate of rise doesn't go down, it actually goes up. What's going to happen is your coffee's going to taste roasted, like really dark roasted, and even if it's still a light roast, it's going to taste dark roast because it's kind of burnt a little bit. You burn the outside, and the inside's not really roasted fully, so you've got like this weird kind of roasty flavor. And then if it's, I'm coming up on my 2.2, and then if you get a dip, what tends to happen is it tastes baked, which means it tastes just like every other coffee. It doesn't taste like anything special. You kind of lose a lot of the nuance because it's like, you ever bake a cake too long? It kind of loses a lot of its moisture, a lot of its flavor. That's kind of what happens. All right, dropping down to a 2.2. I'm just following my markers that I preset. Right, had a little up blip right before I changed the temp, so I was slightly late on that, and I think that's probably why. And I should start dropping down. I'm getting first outlier, first crack. Can you hear that? Okay. Yep, I'm almost there. Oop. That'll be my first crack marker right there. And now I'm waiting here. I'll show you guys where I am. You can hear first crack happening. See, I had a little uptick right there. Everything else was looking fantastic. There was a little uptick. I dropped it at to a 2.2 kPa. This is just a preset thing. It says G22. It's just something for grids. I don't know. I'm not a fucking tech guy. I don't understand any of this stuff. But it's preset, so it allows me to basically record what I did, and that's all I care about. Right here, you see how this had a kind of a drop real quick? I want to keep this a little more trending this way. So I'm going to see if I can wait on this drop to a 2.2 without having an uptick. Right? So I'm already past it. It's still dropping slightly at a good rate of rise. And so what I don't want to see is an uptick. These are good trending lines. Still getting you could still hear the first crack happening. So you're paying attention to a couple of things, couple of variables here, a couple of things happening. I can smell it now. It smells nice and roasted in here. There we go. Just gonna take a look inside the window there. All right, now I'm gonna drop it down to a 1.5. Okay, kind of trying something different here. I'm almost at the end of first crack. I'm at 18% development. Pay attention to all these numbers. 19% development. Now this would be, if I wanted a light roast, I'm done. Got it? That's where I would be in a light roast. My first crack is officially over. I'm at 409 degrees. Okay? I've got some outliers. That's going to happen. But I'm going to take this now a little further. I'm going to drop the temp again down to a 1, and I'm going to ride this out a little bit. I'm going to ride this out to a dark roast. My trend line looks pretty good. And what tends to happen here is, I mean, you can't, your ROR can't go all the way down to 1, right? Because that means that there's no ride. Like, there's no kind of like there's nothing happening, right? So you have to keep it at, it eventually will start planing off just a little bit. Because you don't want to bake the coffee. I'm at 26% development already. I'm at an 8. I just don't want a big uptick, right? I don't want the beans to start burning in there. Now would be a time that I could start checking my trier. Getting there. I'm flattening out here. I'm not going up, which is good. I'm going to bring it to a 1.5 kPa. I'm sorry, not a 1.5, but a 5. Good, I'm riding it, and I think I'm going to call it right here. So that should be, yep, we're good. Yeah. Still not like French roast, Italian roast, because I don't like that. But definitely darker than the last one, I'll show you. I almost feel like now I have to do another video that's like true dark. True dark. And maybe that's what I'll do. I mean, what the fuck? Why not? Right? All right. So that was at 32% development. Got it? So that was good. And I'll show you what I got. And then, so that's my that's definitely darker than a medium. Right? That's somewhere between medium and dark. That's, again, not like a French roast or Italian roast. And I guess what I should do, actually, here's what I'm going to do in the next one. I'll take it to first, I'm going to take it to second crack. And I'm going to roast this one to a true Italian roast and see how that goes. Yeah, stick around. Check it out.